I am in a coffee shop today. I'm taking some time for myself. I am returning to my spiritual practices, checking in and memorializing just different milestones, different segments of my life. I'm coming back to myself, returning to myself. And yeah, this was really spurred by the fact that I have been feeling a lot of tension in my body lately. And as I observe it, it's tension that's arising from adult pressures. There's this line from Kanye that I always talk about because I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, yeah, that's me. It's, and obviously I can't remember it right now because that's how it goes, right? It's something about adult pressures stifling my childlike creativity. College dropout. I hope I quoted that right. Anyways, that's what I feel. Like the pressures of performing as an adult, they're getting to me. And it's interesting because ever since the period of the masks, it's a constant reference point at this point. Things haven't felt the same. Things haven't felt quite right. That whole period felt like a fever dream, first of all. And then we kind of just moved on from it, except we didn't. The forces that be want us to believe that we kind of just moved on, but if you just take a walk in your neighborhood, you'll see. You'll feel the difference, right? And I feel like it's kind of happening again on a micro level in my own personal life. I've always been the black sheep of my family, but now it's like different worlds. And it definitely was made that much more clear with the period of the masks. But it feels like an outer body experience where, not in a I'm going off the deep end kind of way, but in a my higher self is so clearly ready to move forward. And my ego that wants to stay small, that wants to stay protected, is sometimes a little unsure. Things have been feeling very weird lately, very different. And, I'm making a lot of strides, but at the same time, I'm constantly asking myself to what end? And I feel as though, you want to call it the Great Reset. I like to look at it as the Great Awakening. I feel as though that has really been pushing a lot of us, starseeds, chosen ones, followers of the light, whatever you want to call it. It's been pushing us to recognize that we are returning to a state of equilibrium, returning to natural law, returning to natural abundance, to live in a world, and some people call this world New Earth, to live in a world where our sole focus isn't the finite limitations of man, it isn't the material possessions, it is service. It is living in a world of exchange, of natural exchange, of reciprocal, mutually beneficial exchange that is rooted not in fear, but is rooted in love, is rooted in actually loving what you do, whatever service you provide, and sharing that with the world. Instead of finding a career that will definitely pay you what you need to be paid to cover your bills so that you can stress and worry for the rest of your life about whether you're going to be able to continue paying those bills. as I'm saying this, I do recognize the irony because, like I said, I'm still doing the thing, you know? But yeah, it's just becoming so clear that, like, that old narrative, that old world, it just doesn't work for me anymore. It just, it doesn't spark joy. It doesn't, I mean, it never really did. But I mean, in a way that's like, it's requiring a huge shift within me. It's requiring, like, if you're going to say that you understand this knowledge, it isn't enough anymore. You have to actually practice it. What does that mean? That means if I know that I want to be abundant or attract wealth in a way that's rooted in love, then I actually get to be love. What do I need to acknowledge in my own current reality that helps me vibrate with love? Instead of constantly looking at my past, constantly worrying about my future, what in this very moment can I appreciate? Can I say thank you for? To ground me in that truth, to ground me in that miracle, that beauty. It's a paradigm shift. And it's why I'm in this cafe. Because I've spent so much of my time, of my life, thinking that if things weren't perfectly lined up, then I couldn't do certain things. But I have a really cute cafe that's local to me that I can just visit, that's decorated in a way that can transform my imagination, transport me to another country, and I can afford to pay for whatever little treat that I desire on that given day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very grateful for that. I can see and feel the beauty of that. But all too often, we're programmed to, I'm not going to say we, it's been my experience that, you know, taking the time for yourself is a waste of time, or could be spent doing something more productive, or I need to be here and be completely productive. You know what I mean? Like, it robs you of the current moment. And I'm just finding all the ways to come back into the current moment, come back into my body, and at the same time recognizing the spiritual truth that this body is not all there is. They're all sort of convalescing to this magical point. Yeah. So, I'm really excited. I'm excited because this realization requires me to live a life that's fun, and that's what my soul ultimately desires. I wish to not live a life that is monotonous, to live a life that is adventurous. And I'm recognizing that that adventure doesn't necessarily always have to come from the external. It can come from within. It can come simply by my engagement with the present moment, my acknowledgement, my gratitude of the present moment. This is where everything flows from within. Anyways, that's what I have for you today. And I hope each and every single one of you is having an incredible day. I hope that you receive something from this video that will inspire you to live your very best life. Ciao.